Blazers, Robert Covington, Derrick Jones Jr. Let's start with Rocco.
So much to love about all of them. We'll try to cover most of it throughout this game, but we certainly will throughout the season. For Robert Covington, I think he just fits perfectly. On the floor, off the floor. His demeanor, his disposition, it just goes with what you see from the leaders of this team, and Damian and CJ from mid-majors, low-major type colleges had to work their way to this spot. Robert Covington, coming from Tennessee State University and HBCU, really had to prove himself in this league, has been on several teams over the last few years, another thing that we'll get into during the broadcast, but he wants to find a home, Jordan, and we know when people finally make their way to Portland, as did Carmelo Anthony, and they see how nice it is, they want to come back, and that's going to be the hope with Robert Covington. But as it pertains to the immediate future, you just hope he finds that role quickly. Same thing goes with Derrick Jones Jr. Flight mode, airplane mode, anything that flies, it applies to him. 45% of his baskets last year came from slam dunks. He is as athletic as anybody in the NBA. He was the slam dunk contest champion last season. If you ask Aaron Gordon now, he'll tell you how he feels about that. But that's not the story for right now. The Blazers have him. They're going to look to utilize the athleticism on both ends of the floor. Jordan, it's hard to talk while I'm watching these highlights, okay? Because this kind of stuff you just don't see every single day. So Blazers fans will have the chance to enjoy this. And can you imagine Damian Lillard splitting screens at the top, and then Derrick Jones Jr. is on a baseline and you just throw it like, oh, it's going to be fun.
You see the career averages for both of these guys. Robert Covington from outside going to obviously get a lot of great looks from beyond the arc. And then Derrick Jones Jr., the shooting percentages have increased every single season he's been in the league. But as you touched on, Lamar, two guys that have the right defensive mindset. Well, for more on two of the newest Blazers, let's get to our Gatorade Courtside report. We're going to send it up to the concourse. It's great to see you again, Brooke Olzendam. It feels like it was just yesterday we were doing these bubble games, but tell us more about Robert Covington and Derrick Jones Jr.
It is great to be seen. It's great to see you two as well. Yes, as you guys mentioned, in the offseason, the Blazers were looking for athleticism, versatility, and of course, defensive prowess. They got all that and more with Rocco and Jones. Here they both are on how they've been able to fit in so quickly and seamlessly with their new team.
I mean, it's just the type of player I am. I'm accustomed to, I can fit in any offense, any defense. So, me just, watching, the flow of everything and just moving accordingly. And, I'm able to adapt easily. I'm one of them players that can fit any, like I said, can fit any system. And, I fit right in with these guys. I complement them very well. So, just moving in, like I said, I really watch first, and, be engaged. And, the coaching staff have done a great job of, prepping me for, what we was going to build into. So, my position is up in the air right now. So, I've been playing a little bit of, a couple of different positions. So, it's just a matter of us just seeing where we, going to move forward and just keep building off of it.
Yeah, I had got a text from Dame the day I had told the Portland Trailblazers that I was coming out here to play here. And, it's just, he's a great guy. And I always playing against him, you get to see how good he is going against him. But, I'm going to be able to see how good he is on the same team as him and being able to go out there and help him. And it's just great for me to be here with such great guys. And, they embraced me with open arms so far since I've been here. So, I can't wait to get out on the floor with them.
And guys, we know just how important chemistry is to this Blazers team. If you follow Blazers social media, you've seen their practices the last week. They're smiling, they're laughing while running lines. It should be illegal to have that much fun at practice. It's practice, right?
Hey, nothing wrong with a little conditioning. I know both of them are just happy to be here. Also, when you taste that tap water in Oregon, you will certainly become a fan of the great Pacific Northwest. Now, great. New faces are fantastic, Lamar, but you've got some reunions of sorts. Carmelo Anthony coming back for year 2, and then Enes Kanter, such a big piece of that playoff run in 2019.
Well, speaking of water, what Carmelo did is he dipped his toes in that swimming pool, found out it's not as cold as everybody's been telling you. Go ahead and jump in there. That's what he did with the Blazers organization, and he saw this is the place to be. Great to have Melo back, as well as Enes Kanter. And I like what they give you off the bench, Jordan, because that's a tandem you can run offense through. There isn't much of a drop-off when those two guys are on the floor. And as we know with Enes, he's an elite rebounder, so he brings brings you so much more. Just an exciting lineup that Terry Stotts will be able to use either as starters or off the bench.
Career numbers for both Melo and Cantor, and in addition to what they do on the floor, Lamar, there's so much they bring to the table when it comes to the locker room presence and chemistry on this ball club.
Well, you got a Hall of Famer in Carmelo, and then you have somebody that was with you on a Western Conference Finals run with Enes Kanter. So a lot of credibility between these two gentlemen.
Blazers getting set to tip it off against the Kings. We'll bring you the starting lineups and the tip when we come back.
Next Adventure is open for winter business, online and in-store. We've got the best gear at the best prices. We've got everything you need for your winter adventure, whether you're a beginner or advanced, whether you're snowshoeing, skiing, snowboarding, or sledding. We have the right products for you at unbelievable prices. We're excited to safely have you in the Grand or Sandy stores, or you can shop anytime at nextadventure.net and pick up in-store. Next Adventure is here for you and grateful for our community.
Sports fans are gearing up at NBAstore.com, the official store of the NBA. And the largest assortment of NBA fan gear anywhere, with unique, one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics and authentic fan gear, the latest styles for every NBA team and all the players you love. Don't wait, shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Man, it's freezing in here.
Maybe this will warm you up.
Make sure you survive winter. Call your local Daikin Comfort Pro before it's too late.
What do you say? Hey, AAA Heating and Cooling.
Hello, welcome in to Blazers Outsiders. Danny, how you feeling, buddy? We're going to hear from players, coaches, see your tweets on television. We got a lot more to get to. Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells.
That's the reaction we were looking for.
Can I get a headband, one for my peeps?
Let's start talking Blazers.
Join us on Fridays with me, Channing Frye, and my co-host Dan Sheldon for Talking Blazers. We cover everything Rip City. Subscribe and download now.
Welcome back to Moda Center. First basketball game taking place here since March 10th, and it is great to be here to have the familiar sounds of Mark Mason as well, too, over the PA system. Let's get to our Wilsonville starting lineups, presented by Wilsonville Toyota, the No Bull dealership. One person, one price, one great experience. Dame, CJ, Derrick Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and Enes Kanter will get the starting nod for the Blazers. Covington, don't forget, 2018 first-team all-defense in the NBA. For the Sacramento Kings, Fox, Hield, Barnes, Holmes, and Bielitsa. Hield second in the association and made three-pointers last season, trailing only James Harden. So keep an eye out for the Kings. And Luke Walton in his second season as Kings head coach. In 2019-2020, his winning percentage was the best for a first-year coach since Reggie Theus in 07-08. Shout out to Hang Time. And Luke Walton talking about this team running more. But there's the man himself, Terry Stotts, beginning his 9th campaign with the Trailblazers. Coach Stotts, the only coach in Blazers history to lead his squad to 7 straight playoff appearances. Your officials for the evening, Kevin Cutler, JT Orr, and Bill Spooner will go ahead and shake out the legs and get ready to roll for this season. And Enes Kanter will tip at the middle. For the Blazers, the first of 4 preseason games before the regular season starts. A 72-game campaign and what is a shortened season. Let's go ahead and hit the start button on the preseason as the Blazers get the opening tip. Dame will be defended by Fox up top. Figure for the Blazers, just a chance to work on some of the basic fundamentals with some of the new pieces. Dame thought about it, feeds it to Kanter. Kanter tries to finish down low. Finds Jones Jr. I thought we were going to get it this early, Lamar.
I thought so too, but you know what? It's just the preseason. Save the leg. I don't know if he needs to save the legs, though. His bouncing ability.
Jones Jr. with the bucket. Barnes gets into the paint, tries to challenge Cantor, able to roll that one in.
Be an interesting feel to this already. Just looking around, you could see during the national anthems, the players just kind of looking around, locating who's. Oh, I like this, Jordan. Let me get out of that, because that's critical. Him being able to make that shot with any kind of regularity really changes some things.
Heald will try a three up top. That's off. And Coach Stott said about Jones Jr., the percentages might not be there of an elite three-point shooter, but he has the mechanics to become a good shooter.
And the environment here, the culture, makes you a better shooter. It's welcome. It's the kind of place where you feel that confidence from the coach, from the best players on the team. You don't hesitate when you get that open look. There goes that cut. Boy, he spared Bielitsa. Harrison Barnes, very solid small forward in the league.
Fox running the show for the Kings, just signed a 5-year extension. The three for Barnes is off.
Oh, good help from Enes Kanter. Just showing on Fox, forcing him to turn back. CJ was reading the defender of Ennis, who was occupied at the top of the key, but credit Sacramento. They rotated on that back line, made CJ have to throw a pass he didn't want to throw.
And these preseason games, Lamar, so vital for a Blazers team that has only had 3 practices right now. It's a chance to, once again, get some of these new pieces acclimated and make some of those adjustments on the defensive end of the floor that you're hoping to change this year as Holmes gets the flush.
Ooh, yeah, Holmes. Screen roll game. Now, Holmes last season was a top 10 field goal percentage shooter. He was getting looks like that, and then also out to 15 feet. So he's a promising young player. But the point that I was going to get into, Jordan, before Derrick Jones Jr. made that three a few possessions ago, as CJ's not able to get the touch, is this is a different environment. The players feel it. So they will be easing their way into these preseason games, trying to figure things out. And yes, they played without fans so far. As you get another look at that Holmes dunk, quick bounce. The fans without the bubble was a whole different atmosphere. Smaller arena.
Barnes whistled for the foul as he sends Covington to the deck on the inbounds play. But you mentioned the different arena, and as we said earlier, we haven't had a game at Moda Center since March.
Yeah.
And Terry Stotts talked about how so many of the games are going to be different in these venues with no fans, and how teams are going to be doing the presentation of these games. It's an adjustment for everybody.
It is. You can just, you can feel it. And what I was getting at was, even during the national anthem, the guys were, I saw more guys during that national anthem look over here at our broadcast position than I've seen in my 4 years now of doing this and being right on the sideline with them. We're not on the sideline now, but it's because there just isn't a lot going on, so it's easy to locate, identify the few people who are in here. It's going to be different.
We currently have a replay requested of the foul on Barnes. So it's the preseason. You work on these things all the way over to Secaucus as well, too. That foul on Barnes. One more look here, Lamar. What are you seeing from Barnes?
It was on Barnes?
The question is the foul occurring before the ball is in play?
Oh, yeah, a little trip up of the feet.
Not released. It'll be one shot, any player in the game, and we'll return the ball.
Okay, so the ball was not released yet at the time of the tripping up of the feet.
And that is one thing we want to point out this season that they're going to work on for fans as well, too. We saw the official explanations of the replays in the bubble where they were looking at the camera. We get the great explanation right there. So the Blazers will get one free throw, and Damian Lillard will step to the stripe. Dame able to roll that one in, and interesting position for Damian Lillard coming into this preseason, because you know that these are tune-up games and you finished the season before on such a high level. Individually, there may not be a whole lot that you need to tune up, but it's getting everybody else on the same page.
Yeah, just making sure your conditioning is ready for real games. Dame did say he felt like as a team, everybody came back pretty well conditioned. Good move there from CJ.
Fox trying to push the pace. Heald It's the open three from the wing, and Buddy Hield knocks it down.
Buddy Hield, three-point shooter extraordinaire. Now, his percentages have dropped slightly over the last couple of seasons, but he's still a 40+% three-point shooter. And Sacramento, they're one of those teams in the league when you look at them piece for piece and you say, okay, they got De'Aaron Fox. He's fast. He's really good. His averages have jumped a lot each season. And then Harrison Barnes is solid. Buddy Hield, really good young shooting guard. And you start to say, well, hey, man, it seems like they should be a little bit better. Some of that goes to how tough the Western Conference just is.
It is brutal this year
for everybody.
And for the Kings, they've had 14 consecutive losing seasons. They haven't been to the playoffs as Dame will try a deep three. And listen, just like riding a bike, Damian Lillard not missing a beat.
Good screen, frees Damian up to come to the top of the key. They were going against a zone that time, and the zone did not shift over to pick him up. There goes that touch from Holmes. So he'll dunk one possession. He'll go to the hook, 10 feet out the next. And he can shoot the 15-footer.
Ball's tipped. Fox able to corral it, kick it up ahead. Hield gets another look from the opposite wing, and he makes this one as well.
He's going to be without his running mate, Bogdan Bogdanovic, this season. He is now in Atlanta after it was being reported that he was going to be with the Bucks.
We saw the flurry of free agency as Jones Jr. with the first dunk of his Blazer career.
Okay, but did you check out the pause? Like, he went up like he was going to dunk. Looked like he changed his mind midair, was going to lay it up, and then remembered, hold up, somebody dunked on me a few possessions ago, and then decided to throw it down.
He's got decision-making bounce, as we like to say. Enough time in midair to have options as Dame splashes the jumper.
At some point, these guys get lost in the game. You can't tell that there aren't any fans here. They're just going against the opponent in front of them. And it looks like it started to speed up and develop that kind of pace. Here he goes already. Look at him, acting a complete fool in the preseason.
He's ready, Lamar. He is ready for regular season ball already. Damian Lillard with another deep three early in this one. 9 points, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc for Dame, as we have a foul on the floor. But here's your dunk, Lamar.
Yeah, it goes up. Looks like he just moves the ball a little bit. Was going to think about maybe shooting a layup and then decided to dunk. And then Dame making this stuff look regular. I'm glad Carmelo Anthony recently spoke on this. He was talking about Dame's threes, and he's like, this stuff isn't normal. We don't need to act like this is normal just because it's normal to him. Even that three that he just made, us Rip City fans, it's like, okay, that's just Dame doing, Dame stuff. But man, I appreciate being able to watch the ease with which he pulls up and shoots these shots.
Well, many people saw that video of him hitting consecutive half-court shots at practice like it was nothing. CJ wants to join the three-point party, and the Blazers looking polished early on.
Great ball movement. It goes out to Robert Covington. You got to respect him. He is a capable three-point shooter, highly respected in the league. He makes the extra pass. Holmes showing you a little bit of the action off the bounce.
Holmes goes to the cup, foul on Enes Kanter, but CJ once again finding himself open.
Yeah, good extra pass. Stroke looks pure from CJ. And to think, this is offense being generated here in the early portion of this game without Jusuf Nurkic. And his screen role not being an initiator for the Blazers offense.
Carmelo Anthony checking in for Robert Covington, and Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench, Lamar, and the conversation he had with the Blazers prior to re-signing, how important it was to have that open communication with the team coming into this year.
He just wanted them to, just be straight up. And that's one thing we know about the Blazers, from the front office position to the leaders on the floor to Coach Stotts on the sideline. Like, nobody's going to lie and play the games with you. They'll be really honest. And Melo knew how valued he was here. He knew what the role would be. And as he knocks down a three right on cue, three to the dome, he's found a home.
Blazers 5 for 5 from outside to start the first quarter. We're not even halfway through yet. Hield harassed by Cantor. Barnes, corner three, able to get that one to fall. Jones Jr. in transition. That'll be a foul on Bielitsa. So the Blazers push the pace. They get rewarded with free throws. But early on, 22 points for the Blazers. They have not missed from outside. And the new faces showing out early on.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get the Cowboy Pizza for just $13. Papa Murphy's.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed fan gear from more than 500 colleges. Every conference, every team. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors. So as America starts opening back up for business, we'll be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. So whether you stop by a Napa Auto Parts store or Auto Care Center, you can count on Napa know-how.
Oh my Mom, I'm finished. We pray each day. May you come home and be okay. For now, we wait for you to come.
Full of festivities, family, and fun, the holiday season is second to none. Helping our community is the happiest reason we feel such warmth in our coldest season. And a coat drive is the most wonderful way to warm our hearts through these winter days. Fred Meyer and NBC Sports Northwest are collecting jackets to benefit nonprofits in Oregon and Washington. If you would like to donate, please bring a new coat with you when you check out at any participating Fred Meyer locations. For more information, go to trailblazers.com/coat drive.
Blazers basketball is back at Moda Center, taking on the Kings tonight, where the Blazers lead 22-18 with 6:17 to go in the first. Well, before the Blazers' regular season starts, they will have played 4 preseason games tonight, obviously the first. What are their goals for these 4 games? For more on that, here is Damian Lillard.
I want to see, once we get on the floor, I want to see us be able to put our principles, that we've added onto the floor. And I want to see it look good. Usually you're like, okay, it's the preseason. It's going to be some rust, but I want our rust to be, missing shots maybe and, just not coming out hot offensively. But I want to see the things that we can control, being in the right spots, our communication, our understanding of what we're trying to do. I want to see it look like, this is what we do. And everything else, we know we're going to make shots. We're going to score points. We know what we do. We've done it for a long enough period of time. But I think defensively is where, we haven't always looked like that team. And I think starting in the preseason, we should, that should be our focus, not on whether we win or lose or, how many shots we make or anything like that. Is like the things that we're focusing on in these few days of practice before that game. Let's put it on the floor and let's be disciplined and let's be solid at that. And have the right habits from the jump, not say, it is just preseason, we're going to be better. Like, let's have it from the jump.
Blazers perfect from beyond the arc, 5 for 5. 4-point advantage over the Kings. Jones Jr. missed the first of 2 free throws. Gets the second one to fall, and Lamar, Dame talking about the defensive principles for the Blazers. And if you look at areas of improvement for this team, it's the defensive capability of shutting down the 3-point shot. Blazers gave up 38% from outside the arc last year. And then defensive rebounding, a key area for the Blazers as Barnes gets the lay-in to fall.
Well, I think taking last year's defensive stats could be quite misleading just because not having Nurk available before the bubble, it's a huge deal. It changes your entire defense. Like, he really is the anchor of the defense. Pick and roll is so prevalent in the league. Nurk is involved in a lot of that stuff. And it takes a good big who can communicate and then also do the physical things in terms of moving his feet and all that to stop people. And then also Zach not being available. So I don't think last year was really as bad as it appeared if you consider, as Carmelo knocks on a shot, what was missing. Yes, statistically, the Blazers were horrendous last season on the defensive end, but you add those other guys in, and it's a whole different story. And then, Jordan, now you put Covington, Derrick Jones Jr., Rodney Hood for a full season back, and it will be a different ball game.
Lots of room to improve for the Blazers, especially with a full, healthy roster as the season begins. Here, travel on Carmelo. This was after a Fox lay-in, and going to Carmelo Anthony, the isolation game continues to just be as pristine as ever.
Well, he's still a mismatch because Coach Stotts and his staff, they allow Carmelo to play his game. So in today's NBA, it's about the threes, layups, free throws. Well, Carmelo is a master in the mid-range, and they allow him to operate in that area back to the basket or facing up.
Hield with the miss into the game for the Blazers. Gary Trent Jr. brings the ball down, try a two-point jump shot, gets that one to rattle in.
It looks like he's still in the bubble. The way he turned up in the bubble, Jordan, and started shooting the basketball after already being pretty good before that.
Also defensively, the things that he can do. Cantor dislodges that one. Trent Jr. in transition. Looks for Dame. Dame trying to flip a pass. Fox able to get the loose ball, and he brings it back down. Carmelo, though, with the quick hands, but then the dislodge from Jabari Parker. That'll be Blazers ball, so getting pretty physical early on.
Yeah, another one of the great parts about a quiet arena is you can hear everything Melo says. And Melo is quite vocal. And I said he's a master in the mid-range. He's also a master at this. Melo gets a lot of those swipes before the offensive player gets fully airborne. He'll catch him, like right when they're around backboard level, when they least expect it.
Anthony Simons checking in for the first time for the Blazers. Melo, open three, count it.
Shot looks good.
Blazers 6 of 6 from outside. Couldn't script a better start when it comes to perimeter shooting. They lead by 8, just under 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Hield wants another three and gets that one to drop.
And he doesn't need a lot of time. That ball hits his hands, and he's already turning into the shot.
Hield had 271 made threes last year. Anthony Simons, when will it stop? Lamar, 7 for 7 to start the first preseason game of the year for the Blazers.
Hey, I'm not mad about it. They don't need to stop. That's a promising sign. Anthony getting that ball to drop.
Harry Giles also on the floor for the Blazers. Defends Parker. That rolls out. Blazers with a lineup of Jones Jr., Anthony, Trent Jr., Simons, and Giles. Melo.
Yeah,
Buddy Hield in the deep waters.
Man, that's easy. That's why Buddy Hield was calling for the help before Melo caught the ball.
It's looking effortless for the Blazers. They lead by 10, 3:06 left in the first quarter. Portland pouring it in from outside, 7 for 7. Carmelo Anthony already with 8 points, and Anthony Simons putting in quick work the moment he steps on the floor.
Watching the game tonight? When Portland wins, you win. Get 40% off regular menu price online orders the day after each Portland victory. Use promo code PJHOOPS at PapaJohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hi there. It's Les Schwab Tires. Well, more like Les Schwab alignment and brakes and shocks and wheels and tires. Now, some tire places don't offer all that. They only sell tires. And we're not sure how they sleep at night, because all those services affect things like steering and stopping. That's why we offer more than tires to help keep you safe. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor Christmas Sale is going on now. Save 20 to 40% off hiking, hunting, and work boots in stock. Grab the Daiwa Alexa 100 line counter reel. Both right and left-hand models. On sale for $99.99. Save over 30% on Bushnell Trophy XLT 3 to 9x40 rifle scope. Now only $99.99. Shop in-store, online, or with in-store pickup at the Christmas sale. Now through December 24th.
Watching the game tonight? When Portland wins, you win. Get 40% off regular menu price online orders the day after each Portland victory. Use promo code PJHoops at PapaJohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Get the My Teams app for NBC Sports. This app is everything for Seahawks highlights, podcasts, articles, and so much more from NBC Sports Northwest. Download the My Teams app now and stay connected all season long.
To him again, and there's the explosion. 45 yards for a touchdown.
Blazers lead the Kings by 10. 3:06 left in the first quarter of the first preseason game. Don't miss a thing this season. Stay up to date with all things Trailblazers and head to NBCSportsNorthwest.com to download the My Teams app today. Blazers with 35 points in this first quarter, courtesy of 7 for 7 shooting from beyond the arc. Absolutely flawless from outside Lamar.
Yeah, it's looking easy. Damian pulling up from deep, driving, the extra passing, the unselfish play. It's important early in the season for teammates to know where one another will be. This was a promising sign. Anthony Simons, who got off to a good start last season, but, you know, had a bit of a drop-off as the season went on. Good to see him shooting the ball well again. And Carmelo, who has accepted that role off the bench, thriving in it early in this first quarter.
Melo already with 10 points off the bench. Perfect 4 for 4 this game. Blazers shooting 76.5% with 6 assists. Carmelo Anthony, Gary Trent Jr., Anthony Simons, Harry Giles, and C.J. Ellaby, the rookie from Washington State, making his NBA preseason debut at this moment for the Blazers. Jeffries trying to go against Melo. Blazers showing a zone look here. Giles steps out. Parker over to Halliburton. First round draft pick for the Kings. 4 to shoot. And the Blazers able to get a solid defensive stop. And those are some of the principles that Damian Lillard talked about this team wanting to work on in these first couple of games. Melo's floater no good, but Giles there to clean up the garbage, put it in. He'll get the foul also.
Well, it was great to see the bench unit defending at the level that they just defended that last possession. Melo, after catching a few times now and taking his time, he goes quick. Catches the defender off guard. A little too much on the shot, but Harry Giles right there. He is an intriguing prospect. At one point in time was the best high school player in the country. He had some knee injuries both in high school and then his freshman year at Duke. And he slipped in the draft from what he was projected. So if he can re-tap into that potential, boy, this will be one of those steals of a signing.
2 to shoot. Halliburton can't get it off, so the Blazers in back-to-back defensive possessions able to force a difficult shot from the Kings and then not even let them get a shot off as the shot clock violation sounds.
Another solid job. You balance it out with, you look at who's on the floor for the Kings. It's not their best players. Corey Joseph is out there. Corey Joseph has played some winning basketball in his career. So the Blazers able to take them out of offense. Joseph setting it up, and this is the role. This is Melo with the bench crew.
Melo getting fouled on that jumper. Jeffries being whistled for Sacramento, but the ability for the Blazers to give it to Carmelo and he can exploit any mismatch at any moment, especially with this second crew. That's what you look for when you have a bench unit go in.
The biggest thing is how many benches across the league have a defender good enough to deal with Carmelo, particularly when Carmelo is feeling hot. Because we've seen those nights where, you know, his first 2-3 makes turns into 6 or 8 really quickly. And I don't know, Jordan, that teams across the league off the bench have good enough matchups for him.
Well, we saw how well Carmelo played against the number ones for a lot of teams in the bubble as well, too. Joseph surveys in the paint, finds Parker in the corner. Is able to net that one.
Well, that's Corey Joseph that I was referring to the time before. Steady point guard, knows how to set the table, isn't always looking for his own shot. A good pass to Jabari Parker.
Simons running point for the Blazers, 10 to shoot. Gets the Melo screen. Simons will try a deep three, that's deflected. Jeffrey's getting a hand on it. Parker brings it in transition. Tries to go top shelf, broken up by C.J. Ellaby. And those are hustle plays. Yeah. As a rookie, when you make those, you've got the coaches smiling on the bench.
Well, you got to make them. I mean, he's on the court right now with a guy in Gary Trent Jr. who could tell him, look, man, you want to get on the court, you got to defend. Do that at a high level. The shots will come later. So great play right there from C.J. Ellaby, who takes on the challenge on the defensive end. Like, that wasn't like a fluke play. He loves to compete on both ends.
Robinson knocks down the three. Robinson, a journeyman. Sacramento, the 6th NBA team in 7 years for Robinson. Less than a minute left. Trent Jr. handles up top. Gets a screen from Giles. Trent Jr. over to Ellaby in the corner. The rookie will try his first three. That's the first miss from outside for the Blazers. Parker tries to size up Giles. Flips it over to Robinson. Halliburton. Joseph in the corner. 12 to shoot for the Kings. Joseph trying to work it against Ant. And gets it to drop.
Solid move.
Potential 2-for-1 opportunity for the Blazers. Melo trying to work against Parker. Flips a pass to Giles. Beautiful read, and Giles finishes it.
Carmelo, the playmaker, he's already poured it on, getting the additional defensive attention that time and found his open teammate.
Foul on the floor for the Blazers. Here's Joseph working the paint and just a tough shot over the outstretched arms of Simons. But look at Melo and his playmaking ability setting up his teammates.
He sees two. Harry Giles makes the heady cut down the lane, presents himself as an outlet, and gets two.
Last foul was on C.J. Ellaby. Called a 2-second differential between shot and game clock. Ellaby out defending Halliburton. Joseph will try the corner three. So the Kings, there's certainly no slouches from outside. That's their 7th three of the quarter. Ellaby will try before the buzzer. That is no good, but the Blazers hang up 41 points on the Kings. And this the first quarter of the first preseason game. So offensively, Blazers looking very sharp here at Moda Center as this team prepares their tune-up for the regular season campaign. We'll bring you the second quarter when we come back.
Keep your eyes on the Monster Angus Thick Burger. With sizzling bacon and 2 1/3-pound Angus beef patties. The Monster is your daddy now. The new Monster Angus Thick Burger at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy.
Next Adventure is open for winter business, online and in-store. We've got the best gear at the best prices. We've got everything you need for your winter adventure, whether you're a beginner or advanced, whether you're snowshoeing, skiing, snowboarding, or sledding. We have the right products for you at unbelievable prices. We're excited to safely have you in the Grand or Sandy stores, or you can shop anytime at nextadventure.net and pick up in-store. Next Adventure is here for you and grateful for our community.
The soil around your home is a lot like a sponge. It expands when it's wet and contracts when it's dry. Over time, all that movement can damage your foundation. Your house starts sending warning signs like cracks, uneven floors, and sticking doors and windows. Terra Firma can stop the cycle. Our experts will find the source of the problem and provide permanent solutions to make your foundation safe and solid again. So if you suspect your foundation has issues, don't wait for things to get worse. Call Terra Firma today for a free evaluation.
The Monster Angus Thick Burger is tempting you with sizzling bacon and 1/3-pound Angus beef patties. Get close to the screen. Focus, unfocus. Looks like you'll do anything for the Monster. The new Monster Angus Thick Burger at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy.
Join me, Joe Fan, on the Talkin' Seahawks podcast. Get in-depth coverage on all things the 12th man craves. Head over to NBCSportsNorthwest.com to download and subscribe.
Hello, welcome been to Blazers Outsiders. The good times keep on rolling here. The GOAT, Damian Lillard, is the greatest Blazer of all time. We want to know. Send your tweets to me. Zach Collins joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. That was fun.
Thank you, Brooke. Let's go Blazers.
Appreciate you hanging with us, playing fun tunes.
Welcome back. Blazers lead the Kings 41-36 as we get set for the second quarter. Big reason for the Blazers, 41 points. Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench for the Blazers in his second year with the team. 12 points immediately and very efficient, Lamar.
Having a field day. Looks like the conditioning is good. Looks like he's feeling in that groove. Good rhythm already. Speaks back to what Damian Lillard was saying about all his teammates. He said as a whole, the conditioning is there. So it's about fine-tuning right now. And Melo, it's like riding a bike for him, these shots. He's the 15th all-time leading scorer in NBA history. So this guy has gotten so many buckets in his career in a variety of ways. You don't just lose that.
Now it's time for the Pacific Office Automation stats. 3-point shooting, neither team shy from outside. Blazers 7 for 10, Kings 7 for 15. Melo with 12 points, Dame with 9 points, including a 34-foot three. And one thing we wanted to touch on when Dame hit that three, Lamar, last season he had 54 threes from 30-plus feet. Doubled up the previous record in the NBA the year before by Trae Young. So Dame making it look easy from well beyond the arc.
Yeah, and at some point this year, he's shooting from half court.
It's going to come. It is going to come at some point. I'm wishing upon a star that it'll happen here soon. Anthony Simons coming back down as the Blazers get the stop. Blazers with Covington, CJ Simons, Harry Giles, and CJ Ellaby on the floor as McCollum draws the foul. Seeing CJ McCollum handle the ball as that backup point guard is something that we saw him play very well when Dame was out. But we're going to send it upstairs to Brooke Olzendam for more on Dame shooting from beyond half court.
Well, guys, he recently explained why adding a half-court shot was important to him. He said, I just wanted to become more of a serious threat from further out. If they don't address me at 35, 37 feet, then I can shoot that shot, and it would be a shot our team wouldn't be mad at. And once Terry started seeing me in the summer at the facility every day, he was seeing how hard I was training. After I got my closer shots in, I would move out further and further. I always work on it. It's grown on, Coach, and he accepts it. And CJ was asked about the shot, and he said, listen, I told him if he's going to shoot it, he better make it. I used to tell him, you got to toe the line, but then I looked up his percentages, like you guys mentioned, and when he's shooting 30 feet plus, he's like 41, 42%. So he can shoot it from half court if he wants to. And guys, he could probably even shoot it further back. And that's probably something we'll see next season.
Thanks, Brooke.
Yes,
Lamar.
indeed.
I will lose my mind if he hits one from half court during a game and it's not a buzzer-beating shot.
You won't be alone. And the thing about him is he might do that as a buzzer-beating shot because he did end a series from 37 feet intentionally.
Which was a good shot as we continue to look at the percentages for Damian Lillard. Ball deflected out of bounds. Kings will get on the sideline with 15 to shoot, but here's Harry Giles with the dunk and the damage.
Yeah, one of the reasons it's important for Damian to be able to shoot those shots is because once he gets in the pick and roll with guys like Harry Giles, he's going to face double teams. As you see the reaction, he loves it. He's going to face double teams, extra attention from 40 feet. So when he kicks to the roll man, a guy like Harry Giles can replicate that drive over and over.
Covington on the help defense, and around the league, people praise the help defense of Robert Covington and just how vital it is to the team's effort. CJ with a three and rattles that one in, so CJ McCollum feeling it early on as well, too.
One thing I feel like I've been seeing from CJ, both in recent videos that have been posted and have shown his moves, and then as I go back to the bubble, it looks like his handle is tightened up a little bit. CJ would tell you in years past, sometimes he gets a little carefree with the basketball, really extends the dribble at times and maybe he shouldn't have, but it's been really tight. I think back, Jordan, to the move he made at the top of the key, I believe it was against Dylan Brooks or John Morant in the bubble. It was like a between the legs, behind the back, another behind the back, and it was so smooth. His handle's been looking like that. How about Harry Giles? How about Harry Giles finding a comfort level on this team?
Giles with 8 points against his former team. Ellaby, though, fouling Robinson on the three-point attempt, so that'll be 3 free throws for Robinson here in just a moment. But Giles doing a great job diving after this screen.
Well, as the roll man, you got to make a decision, and he can shoot that 15-foot jump shot, or he can take it in. And I like the visual we just got after C.J. Ellaby committed the foul. C.J. McCollum went over to talk to him, and I asked C.J. a few weeks ago, has he ever played on a team with another C.J.? And he said he doesn't think so. So this was the first time. And they said they're going to call him Rook. So Dame was on the call, too, and he said, we're going to call him Rook, at least the first year. So I say, well, what do you call him in the second year? And they said, well, that will be determined throughout this season.
It's better than calling him Pond, that's for sure. We'll call him Rook. And so Ellaby with the foul, and he was trying to close out hard. Those are things that coaches will obviously look at the film and say, you want to make sure you don't foul three-point shooters, but the defensive effort and the defensive mindset to be a great defender, that's something that both Covington and Derrick Jones Jr. pointed out that they bring to the table. And Lamar, you played with guys, you have to have that mindset if you want to be a terrific defender.
Yeah.
CJ's three is off. The Kings bring it back down. Robinson flips it over to Bielitsa. And Halliburton gets his first NBA three to fall. So Halliburton, they're very high on him in Sacramento, by the way. You talk about the intangibles a player brings to the court, 12th overall pick. Everything you look for in a teammate and a coachable player for Halliburton.
Yeah, last year at Iowa State, he led the Big 12 in assists and steals. And speaking of steals, Sacramento feel like they got one in being able to draft him, because some draft boards, if not the majority of them, had him being a top 7-8 player. So the Kings felt like they were fortunate to have him slip to them. Good pass.
Finds Covington. Covington will try the three, and that just bounces out.
Ooh, I like that actional, Jordan. Double screen, and then Covington popping back, creating even more space.
Holmes will give that three up top a try. Almost popcorns in, but the Blazers snag the board. So CJ playing some backup point guard with Dame out. We see Ant on the floor as well, too. You just start to see some of those wrinkles. Coach Stott saying, we don't have enough to hold back in this first game. We haven't installed enough stuff. It's going to take some more time. And CJ's attempt being blocked by Holmes. Halliburton corrals it. But the Blazers certainly more time to implement things as this preseason rolls along. Another missed three for the Kings. Giles hands it back off to CJ. Giles up top, thought about the jumper, flips it back to Simons. 13 to shoot for the Blazers. Simons finds Ellaby. Over to CJ. Covington. 5 to shoot for the Blazers. CJ pump fake all the time in the world. Can't get it to fall. Holmes looking for positioning, and CJ will go ahead and just take the foul at that moment.
Smart play. Sacramento, I would believe they're pretty happy with their ball movement, too. We've seen a lot of swings into open shots.
Kings with 10 assists. Blazers lead Sacramento 48-41. Just getting started here in the second quarter. More basketball when we come back.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get the Cowboy Pizza for just $13. Papa Murphy's.
The usual gifts are just not going to cut it. We have to find something else. Good luck. What does that mean?
We are doomed.
That's it. I figured it out. We're gonna give togetherness.
That sounds dumb.
We're gonna take all those family moments and package them.